Welcome back. The new antigen diagnostic tests recently approved by the World Health Organization, WHO, are set to transform the region's COVID-19 response by allowing health workers to carry out accurate, rapid testing, even in remote communities. Unlike previous rapid antibody tests, which can show when someone has had COVID-19, but often give a negative result during the early stages of infection, the new antigen tests are much more accurate in determining if someone is infected. Dr. Carissa Etienne, the director of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and regional director for the Americas of the World Health Organization, says the new tests will indeed transform the region's COVID-19 response.
Thanks to the tireless work of the WHO's ACT Accelerator, we now have an affordable and reliable diagnostic test that can be performed anywhere. By providing results quickly, the new test empowers frontline health workers to better manage cases by isolating patients to prevent further spread and to begin treatment immediately. And it gives healthcare workers, whether they're working in a hospital in Buenos Aires or a mobile health clinic in the Amazon, it gives them the power to test and diagnose cases within minutes, not days, at 1/3 of the cost of the traditional PCR tests that we have been using.
Dr. Etienne underscored that the diagnostic tests will be particularly useful in hard-to-reach areas without easy access to a laboratory, which have been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic.
PAHO has in its possession hundreds of thousands of these tests, and we have those available via the PAHO Strategic Supply Fund, with millions more expected in the coming weeks. So we have built up a stockpile, and we are able also to access those tests for our member states.
She noted that while PCR diagnostic tests, which are highly accurate and must be conducted in lab settings, remain the gold standard for testing, delays in getting results mean that people run the risk of infecting others while they await those results. On Friday, the 16th of October, our team joined the St. Lucia National Lottery in a public engagement activity to promote their newest game. Jacques Wooding tells us more.
Today we joined representatives of the St. Lucia National Lottery in an activation for their new game, Pick 2, in the Castries Constitutional Park. They explained what exactly is taking place here today.
We're having a promotion since we just launched our Pick 2 game, which is our newest game from St. Lucia National Lottery. We launched it on 25th of last month, and we're just doing a little sensitization as letting people know exactly how Pick 2 is played. To qualify for the cash machine, customers would have had to spend $10 in Pick 2, and the name goes into a box, and if their name is drawn, they get a chance to go into the cash machine, and whatever money that you catch, that's yours.
Now that we understand what's taking place, let's join the action. Well, that was a lot of fun. Theoretically $240 richer. I am Jacques Wooding from Hot 7 News.
As the government of St. Lucia continues efforts to reduce impacts of climate change, the fisheries sector has received some much-needed equipment. A ceremony saw the handing over of 200 VHF radios valued at approximately $80,000 US.
The Departments of Fisheries and Telecommunications, in collaboration with the Global Environment Facility, GEF, and the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, through the Climate Change Adaptation in the Eastern Caribbean Project, CC4Fish Project, have procured a total of 200 very high-frequency radios for fisherfolk around the island. The VHF radios will enable fishermen to dialogue over substantial distances on marine radio channels and is an invaluable fishing tool that alerts marine police during moments of distress. 2 marine repeaters have also been purchased for the north and south of the island in an effort to reinitiate the use of VHF radios amongst fisherfolk. Acting Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Physical Planning, Natural Resources and Cooperatives, Honorable Harold Stanislaus, says the procurement of these equipment is in keeping with the objective of the CC4 Fish project to increase resilience and reduce vulnerability to climate change impacts in the Eastern Caribbean fisheries sector.
The installation of the marine repeaters and distribution of the VHF radios are contributing to the second overarching goal of the National Adaptation Plan for St. Lucia, which is to accelerate the implementation of climate adaptation and risk reduction actions critical to safeguarding the country's socio-economic and environmental systems. Furthermore, the introduction of the VHF radios are consistent with the expected outcomes of the St. Lucia Fisheries Sectoral Adaptation Strategy Action Plan by strengthening preparedness for climate variability and extremes in the fisheries sector.
Parliamentary Representative for Ancillary Canneries, Honorable Dominic Fede, expressed gratification on behalf of the fishermen of his constituency for the newly acquired equipment.
For a long time now, you've heard stories about fishermen being lost at sea. We can't find them. Their loved ones, their families go through the agony, the pain. And I think that this is going to help to address that problem. So really congratulations to the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries for a well thought out initiative. It is quite important what they're doing. And I support it wholeheartedly, representing a constituency where many of the residents there do rely on fishing for their livelihoods.
The license fee for the VHF radios have been waived by the government of St. Lucia. From the Information Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
The government of the Republic of China on Taiwan continues to lend support to St. Lucian farmers.
In an effort to increase farmer production and sustainability, the Ministry of Agriculture, in partnership with the Taiwan ICDF, have been supporting farmers with various initiatives, including farmer training in areas of product development and marketing. At the recently held graduation ceremony for the 2020 Region 6 Farmer Training, the Ambassador of the Republic of China Taiwan to St. Lucia, His Excellency Peter Shen, reaffirmed his government's commitment to assisting St. Lucian farmers.
According to the statistics, St. Lucia spends more than 6 million EC dollars importing fruits and vegetables such as cabbage, watermelon, cantaloupe, and tomatoes each year. And the import value has been increasing. So what if we could purchase them locally instead of buying from overseas, and more specifically, buying from your farms? So that's the reason why the government of Taiwan is working with the government of St. Lucia to promote local produce and consumption of the 7 important crops on a sustainable basis and hosting this training program.
A participant of the 2020 Farmer Training, Iverson Calixt, encouraged farmers to make use of the knowledge received throughout the training.
I also want to encourage us all not only correctly apply the practices from this certification course, but also to hold one another accountable for doing so. Our value to the St. Lucian economy cannot be overstated, but we must cement this by infusing our knowledge into our daily practice. Moreover, I wish to encourage our farming community that although we may be operating in a competitive environment, that we work collaboratively as we share a common objective of improving the overall agricultural sector in St. Lucia.
The 2020 Farmer Training for Region 6 forms part of a series of programs done by the Agriculture Ministry with support from the Taiwan Technical Mission and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, under the enhancement of the efficiency of production distribution supply chains in the fruits and vegetable sector project. From the Information Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
Stay with us. A special Moi Heritage Creole feature, sports and weather are all coming up after the break.